the first question here, to lay the foundation, I think perhaps, Jim, you could take us through your foundational understanding of leadership, and what that is, what that means, and what do many organizations miss about a leadership role?
Yeah, I mean, right there, there's our whole hour, right there.
Big
I,
topic.
right. I mean, I've been blessed to work for a number of different organizations, to have held leadership positions and ascended to leadership within different organizations. So I've had an experience of what that's like to go from being valued for what you do, uh, to being valued for what you can uh, bring people together to do. And I think um, one of the ways we can begin to sort of peel this onion apart is to talk about, as people move from individual contributors into leadership roles. And I think one of the things that is very poorly done in corporate America is the shepherding of people from those individual contributor roles into those leadership roles, because there's a set of skills that are required in leadership, I mean, starting with listening skills,
Mm-hmm.
empathy skills, strategic skills. Um, it's the difference between playing, chess and checkers. And so having that strategic mindset, that is not what you're rewarded for as an individual contributor. As an individual contributor in a technology role, in a sales role, you are absolutely heralded, and it's there's a dependence on you to deliver as an individual.
Mm-hmm.
And those people who have a track record of delivering as individual contributors are oftentimes rewarded with the opportunity to ascend into leadership. And you get that tap on the shoulder. There's an opportunity. Someone's left. The organization's growing. We're expanding into new markets. We'd like you to take on this leadership role. And at that point, once you get sort of it used to be the desk nameplate. I don't know what it is today that you get in term. Maybe it's a badge you put on your LinkedIn, but it's like, congratulations, you now have the epaulet. You're a leader. Um, it's just sort of expected that you're going to be able to make that transition and leap that chasm on your own, based on your own experience, based on being a follower, based on being a member of a team. And that's not that fails repeatedly. Um, and one of the ways in which it fails is that there's a mindset, there's a perspective change that has to take place between, I have to achieve individually in these various roles. I have to make the sales. I have to drive the numbers. I'm responsible for uptime. I'm responsible for compliance. Whatever domain it is you were an individual contributor in. To actually, there's a whole different set of metrics that are about, how are we coming together as a group? How are we driving efficiency? How are we staying aligned to the mission of the organization and serving the customers? And in fact, all the stakeholders, whether it's the board, whether it's your peers, whether it's your clients and customers, how are you being accretive into bringing the mass of people together and and driving the entire ship in that direction? Um, I've sort of, you know, left a bunch of threads all around here that I think we can pull on. But I think the thing that I really wanted to conclude as a result of that question is that, leadership is a skill set. It's an art form. Um, it's required. Nothing happens in an organization, and an organization could be defined as two or more people. You could get, as soon as you have two people in an elevator, you have an organization. Who's going to press the button? Who's going in first? Who's going in last? How do we organize the luggage so we're not blocking? What are we doing? Who's pressing the door close button? As soon as you get to two or more, you're officially an organization, and there's a skill set that allows that organization as its own entity to survive and thrive.
Well, and Jim, to tease on that, like, if when you are an individual contributor, it's your, like you said, it's your individual productivity, right? That's really tenacity. That's that, like, really good at task oriented work. And when you get into the leadership, it's more strategy. It's more, how do we build the team? How do I build somebody else up to achieve the results when it's so much easier for me to just do it myself?
Yeah.
And so the team becomes efficient to a degree, but they lose effectiveness because the leader's not looking ahead. They're not building the other people. They're not helping them grow and make the right decisions and help be efficient and effective. Seems.
Mm-hmm.
I love everything you're saying. I couldn't agree more.